Okay. Could everybody please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Good afternoon and welcome. Would everybody please shut off their cell phones, please? Just to give you a brief idea, this meeting is for you, the residents. Verizon is here to answer your questions. We will try to keep it down to one question at a time if we can, time permitting. I know some of you have had Verizon already installed, and I've gotten phone calls from people raving about it, how great it is. I think that's wonderful. So I would try to refrain from people coming up singing praises to Fios right now, because that's not the purpose of the meeting. The purpose of the meeting is to answer your questions and get things resolved. At this time, I'd like to present Mr. Chris Curtin, who's going to make a presentation from Verizon.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thanks, Al.
There's something that's easy to forget.
Can you cue the audio, please?
That goes to the core of who we are. There's no this without this. No this without that. No.
Is there any sound?
We'll try that again. In the meantime, I should have brought my 3-year-old son. He's learning the Pledge of Allegiance right now, and I need to tell him when I get home. So I appreciate you doing that. Okay, while we start, let me just go over a couple of things. So my name's Chris Curtin, and my team and I are responsible for the Fios deployments, both in multi-dwelling units and also communities throughout the East Coast. We have basically launched essentially 2,300 communities this year already in the first 6 months. And I just want to give a little background on kind of where you've been from the evolution of us working with Sal and the board here to where we sit today, which is 614 homes passed for Fios in just a short time. We've got 2,692 total to do. So there is a process for that. We'll talk a little bit about that today. And certainly my installation teams under Carol Shields, who's been doing an outstanding job here, and also our teams under Frank Hedrington are out here to answer your sales questions. So as you have questions after the short presentation that I have, we have people on base that can answer all of your questions today, okay? So the things that will impact you as individuals, and I know that's important. But just to give you an idea and a scope of what Verizon Fios is today, it's the leading technology across the board. We're J.D. Power's award winner for 6 straight years for broadband service. That goes along with the installation piece, but also the care piece, which is what I am most concerned about. So it's not just about deploying your network. It's about making sure that you're here to answer questions after you sign the contract. So just to give you a scope of what my team does, we sign the contracts, we're responsible for the installation, and we're responsible for the selling of those products after that piece, and also the care. Because you're a bulk customer, you're entitled to certain things that we've negotiated with Sal and the board here. So one of those first things was getting Fios in place in the first place. For those of you that know, all of New Jersey is not under an obligated build standpoint. So we work with state governments to build out our Fios network. We have obligations that we owe states back to deploy that network. This capital expenditure and cost is enormous. And you guys understand net neutrality and some of the rulings that are going on right now. But for us to return an investment on that, we need to make sure that we have a long-term commitment with both residents and also individuals. And our thought is if you provide the best network in the industry, that long-term commitment will follow, whether you're in a bulk agreement or not. But just back to Leisure Village, we've deployed 2,300 communities this year. We've met all our obligations across the Potomac, Boston-Washington corridor, but we also do have to build business cases to be able to build in those areas that are not obligated. Leisure Village in this community, where it resides in New Jersey, was not an obligated build. So essentially, we would hope to get around to that. It would not have been a priority in 2018. We worked with your board to sit down and make sure that we had a match. And what I mean by a match is we could recoup investment, even if it's not initially, over the course of the years. And then we also worked with our engineering team to make sure that we could build it. That's essential. The other piece is, in order for us to do this, the financials have to work. So today, we are in a bulk agreement, and the board has signed a bulk agreement with video only, which means you will have the option in the future to select your internet. Again, as I said, we're the best internet provider in the marketplace, and you will see as we mature, as your needs mature in broadband, you will require internet speeds at the level of what Fios is giving today. Okay, so that's kind of a future view and a now view of what we're doing. We do have a new CEO at Verizon that has been named. His number one focus, Hans Vesterberg, his number one focus is the network. So all of capital infrastructure, all of our expenses are going to be dedicated to that network, both in the wireless and wireline community. If that's a wireless Verizon cell phone, you don't need to shut that off. So no worries. Yeah, no worries. So what I'm going to do is show a quick video, and this will explain a little bit of what we're doing today and our commitment to the marketplace beyond just Fios, but also in the wireless segment, which all of you participate in, a lot of you today.
It's easy to forget. Something that goes to the core of who we are. There's no this without this. No this without that. No AR, VR, AI, IoT, holograms, self-driving cars, or whatever it is that comes next. None of it without the network that comes next. That's why we're building this. We know how to build next gen. 2G, 3G, Fios, 4G LTE, LTE Advanced, 5G, and now Intelligent Edge Network. So while everyone is talking about the incredible opportunities of the future, this, and even that, especially that, we're actually building the platform the future runs on.
Outstanding. So that's our latest TV spots that we're introducing right now. That's an internal message, so I'm sharing that with you today. It's not out yet, so just if you do see this, you're the first to see that. So a couple of things. How many people in here know what 5G is or have heard of it? Okay. So that's our latest technology that we're deploying nationwide. We're announcing that. We started, the announcement came out yesterday. They were going to launch that in the Houston market. I'm going to put all of you at ease at this point. Right now, we have a wireless network. We have a copper network, which I believe some of you participated in with the phone service and DSL in the past. We have a 4LGTE network, which is wireless, and we're going to come out with 5G. 5G is the next evolution of wireless, and it will allow you to get over 2 gigabits of speed wirelessly. So if you think about our Fios network today, right now our latest offer is a 1 gigabit deal, which is our highest speed that we offer. It's 940 megabits download and 840 megabits upload. I'm here to tell you, not everybody's going to require that in this room. The board has worked to get you in the door for a video package. And this is why this is, and I wanted to point this out, and I talked to a lot of the members of the board, and I asked, what were your match? What was your match? What were you trying to solve to? What were some of the objections? Some of the things and the objectives of the board were to make sure that you have something that can work now, that you have a TV option, but you also have the option for internet. The second objective that we always have to make sure that we match is there upward growth? Is there mobility? Can you purchase? Do you have the needs for upward mobility on the broadband side? So those are the things. We don't just come into a community, sign a bulk deal, and then leave. And I promise you that happens in our industry. Okay, I've heard that in every conference that I've covered this year nationwide. That's what happens. The one thing that we do is provide the care after the fact, after the installs are complete. We're here to answer the questions, and we make sure that we're here after the fact so that we have a dedicated call center, which is in the United States, in Missouri, so that people can answer those questions for everybody's needs, okay? And that's very important too. So when we worked with the board, we got the network deployed. Now let me tell you about what the capital expenditure cost is. As I said, this territory in New Jersey is not obligated. So again, if the match doesn't work from a long-term commitment, we would not be out here deploying the Fios network. You'd be working with another provider. Because we saw a match, because of the need, because of the scale, because of the upside opportunity, we made the decision to deploy our capital expenditure here. What is that capital expenditure? It is a multi-million-dollar project. If you are not in an obligated area, and I have developers calling me daily in my team, you would have to pay for that capital infrastructure. Could you imagine the cost of the bulk deal if you had to layer in a $2.3 million build CapEx program into that price point? So we worked with the board, and the board showed us the value, they showed us your need, and we actually are paying for that capital infrastructure for your property. So I just want to make sure that that's clear, because I think that's very important from a value standpoint. Let me talk a little bit about what Fios is and what the journey is. So we launched this in Verizon in Keller, Texas, is our first location. That was back in 2005. In 2006, we launched a bulk community in Virginia that currently has 10,000 SFU, single-family homes, participating in our Verizon bulk network, okay? They have data and they have video. They signed that deal back in 2006. It was a 15-year deal. They're asking me now to renegotiate, to up their speeds, to up their video content, because a lot's changed, but they wanted to get into that relationship and renew that. That says a lot. So we've been in that business, in that territory since 2006, and now they're coming back to us to say, hey, we would like to re-sign with you. Reason being, we have paid for the upgrades to their network throughout this whole term. So it's one thing to deploy a network, it's another thing to keep up with that network that you've already invested in. And that is my dedication of our group, but that's my commitment to Leisure Village, and that's something that the board has asked me to continue to update. So as we have product changes, as we have enhancements, as we have things that come out like Fios TV app, which all of you will be eligible for, where you can consume your TV in and out of your house, that's very important. If you're a snowbird, if you have a property in Florida, you can consume things off of your DVR on your laptop, on your iPad, on your iPhone, or I'm sorry, it doesn't need to be an Apple product, it can be other products, but you can consume that outside of your house, and that's very important to customers today. So we launched in 2005 the Fios product, and we were the company that did fiber to the home. And I know a lot of you that have read up, if you knew about 5G, I'm sure you understand this piece. A lot of our peer groups like AT&T and other companies did it to the curb. They called it fiber to the node, and that home run didn't go into the house. Into the house allows for no degradation of your network. So when you're promised a speed of 50 over 50 or 100 over 100 symmetrical speed, you're not sharing a network. That is your speed in your house. To give you an idea of what speeds, because I get this question all the time, do I need 100 over 100? Chris, Do I need a gigabit of speed? Let me give you some satisfaction to understand here. Each device, so as you have a device, and you could certainly set up your wireless phone to use that in the Wi-Fi network so you don't have to use up your bandwidth. Each device that you use, whether it's an iPad, whether it's a Nest thermostat, whether it's a cell phone, requires about 5 megabits of speed today in the technology. So to be on 50 megabits, as long as you have 10 devices working at the same time, you will never have an impact with your devices, okay? So that'll put some clarity around that piece. So if you have 20 devices, I usually do a hand raise here, and I get a few people that have 55 devices in their house. I'm like, are you running a call center out of your house? But that happens a lot, and those are the people that I think require that gigabit of speed. If you're streaming video, if you're streaming Netflix, those are the things that require some of the up speeds, but the 50 megabit works fine as long as you don't have 5 or 6 people streaming in your house. One thing to consider, as you have guests, as you have family members staying for the holidays, they're bringing these with them, and I think you all understand that. So those are the things that you want to be prepared for. 50 megabit, again, as I said, if you're not using more than 10 devices, would suffice at this point, okay? Now, a couple of other things that we did. We've launched 13 million homes. So we call it in our company open for sale. We have 13 million homes that have been passed throughout the Fios network, and that is from Boston all the way down to Southern Virginia. So 13 million homes have the opportunity and multi-dwelling units to get our network. Within that, we have a churn rate of less than 3%. So we have an industry best churn rate. So when people buy and get into a relationship with us, they don't leave. And they're not leaving because they're in a contract. They're not leaving because of the network that we provide to them. So that's a key piece. It's J.D. Power Award winner. These are some of the things that typically every age group, whether you're in an active adult community, whether you're a millennial, whether you're a boomer, everybody is using those top items and applications. So this equips you, and that technology, the Fios signing of a video deal, equips you for the ability to get broadband service and data, and those are the things that primarily I'm getting is what we're using them for. Our TV service is an industry winner on the J.D. Power Award winner too. So I'll go through some of the scenarios. I know we had some issues and some slip-ups, and that's my team, and I want to apologize for that up front. Whenever you're deploying a network to 2,700 living units, things like leaving a phone number on there, because if you get a flyer, people are going to call that phone number. We're going through this build in a phased approach. Why? Because we want to do it right. Secondly, Carol Shields and her team have dedicated technicians out here that are working just on this project. Most companies don't do that. Most companies will send out the next available technician, you get reappointed due dates, things don't work out well. We have 315 households that have placed their orders, and many of those individuals are happy with their service today, as Sal pointed out so far. So here's the dilemma, and here's one thing I'm asking of you. There's 614 residences in Phase 9. Phase 9 and parts of Phase 8 that can actually order the service today. We are placing the collateral. You will be notified of when to order that service. I ask that you kind of hold back on that. If you're in the future phases, you can't have it until it's actually built. We have a very strict schedule. We're going to have this build completed and it's expedited, but I want to make sure that everybody in here understands that. If you call the call center today, if you have friends that are in Phase 9 that are saying the service is great, I got it, you don't. Well, if I'm in Phase 2 or 3, I'm upset about that. I just ask you to be patient about it, okay? So call when you're approached to call, and we're ready to answer that call and make sure that you're installed. Everybody's going to get a dedicated install. The other piece of this is we're getting a lot of orders with TV only, and the technicians are showing up at the house, and they're ordering, they want the triple play, but they've only ordered the video portion of it, which is under the bulk. at the point of the call, you want to explain that to the call center representatives. They'll set you up with that. They'll work your pricing down. We will not charge you for the installation fees of this service. If a technician has to go back out there and do wiring, that's the only issue that would ever have to get a recharge on it. So the way I'm explaining it is, you want to order your data service and your TV service at least. You could always drop it at no charge on the data side, but that's a big piece. I mean, everybody's going to need internet in the future. You're future-proofed, and just back to the network piece, Fios network, never mind 5G and what you're hearing about the future, the fiber to the home network is the best-in-class network in the industry today. So what you're getting installed is the best network in the industry today, and it also offers the most upside. We have throughput tests of over 5 gigabits of speed over the fiber network. Just to give you an idea, when we launched in 2005, our lead offer was 15 megabits over 2. And I remember everybody was saying, why would anybody need 15 megabits? That was in 2005. By 2013, our lead offer has jumped up to 100 megabits per second. Fast forward to today, 97% of where we've built fiber has capabilities to get up to a gigabit of speed. As I said, the demand isn't there yet, but we're ready when the devices and all those other demands come into place, and we're ready to handle that network, okay? So I want to put you at ease at that. That is kind of a little bit background about the opportunity here. What has fiber done for Leisure Village? So that's the fiber piece. How does this help the community overall? You have a capital asset. The board here was very smart in their negotiation with us. We have a one-product bulk deal, so you're not obligated for anything beyond that. I know it's a stretch from what you were paying before, from a board condo fee, association fee, but I'm here to explain to you. I asked Sal and the team to come up with what are the top 3 scenarios that we're seeing, because I want to provide to you a before and after picture. So if you ordered just data service, if you ordered just TV, what was the average person paying in here? I know there was a $1.97 fee for the former company that you had, but you also purchased up. And when you purchased up, what did you get for that money? And what do you get as a bulk customer today? I want to bring a little bit of clarity to that. I think that's important. And we asked for top 3 scenarios that are could handle some of your questions today. Post this discussion and post my presentation, I have members of our organization here, like I said, that can answer specific sales questions that you have. Here's why it's a little bit difficult. When you go from one carrier, who I don't know their pricing structures, because certainly they're not going to share it with me. I don't know if they shared that with you or not. But when you look at that, and then you look at our pricing structures of each individual and what they could have for phone, data, and TV, there's probably an algorithm of 2,000 things that you could have. So my point is, you're going to get the right pricing, the right structure when you call into the center. But again, my team's here to answer the high-level pricing questions, and they can give you an approximate value today. Fair enough? Okay. So what's included in what did the board on your behalf, and what did you sign? So number one, you have a dedicated connection to all fiber optic networks to the home. So I talked about we were the first company to build fiber to the home. Guess what? Last year, Comcast decided to do the same thing. AT&T's doing the same thing at this point. So a lot of these companies are realizing, fiber to the home was the right decision, because that trajectory and requirement of broadband consumption, the curve is going like this, not like everybody expected it to go like this. So again, our former chairman made this decision, Ivan Seidenberg, back in the day in 2004. So I think of like people in the industry that are visionaries. That was a visionary decision. Preferred HD video package. So what do you get? Today, for your $30 fee in your association, you get Preferred HD, you get 280 channels, and 111 of those are in HD. You get a set-top box, a remote control, and most importantly, in the blue, which I consider green because I get questioned about my expense dollars on a daily basis working for a corporation, we have dedicated an installation team here. We have dedicated an account management team under Frank Hedrington, and we have a bulk support center. So you don't need to call into the normal flow of an existing FiOS customer and be put on small holds, not big holds, but small holds. You have a dedicated group that can answer your questions. And that's very important, especially if you're in a bulk deal and the configurations, and they're there to answer your questions on what you order. So that's what you get today. So I asked the team to say, okay, what are concerns that some of the individuals have as individuals? Because I really don't care about what you signed. If I lived here, I wouldn't care about what you signed. I wouldn't care about what we're deploying to. There's definitely a disruption when you change into anything, okay? So I asked the team, and they were very gracious to give me some of this information. What was the top 3 scenarios that we've seen? So if I compared the Hotwire TV program and landline service, what was the before payment you were paying, and what will you pay after for those services? Same thing, Hotwire TV and internet. What were you paying before? What will you pay in Verizon moving forward within this bulk agreement? And then the last piece, DirecTV VZDSL, that's our DSL product. For those of you that didn't know, that's about 5 megabits of speed. That's going back way past for what you're going to require. Because you're getting this upgrade in this network, clearly we're going to retire that network and get you into the right build for the right reasons here. So here's the answer to the first question. How does Verizon compare TV versus landline service? The current provider on the right-hand side of this chart is that configuration, and we try to get it to the most similar it would be for Verizon. As I said, there's about 2,000 configurations total, but you'll see here, there's your HOA fare. Everybody remembers that, $186, right? TV, extended basic. So this was a package, I guess, that Hotwire was offering. It offered 60 channels. You could also upgrade and get 50 additional channels on the HD side, but the two together was $41.90. The equipment, the HD digital receiver in the equipment was $12.99, and if you had a landline phone with them, it was $30. The total configuration was $86.75. I've left out taxes and surcharges because of the complexities of that, but they aren't far off between us and them, so they're pretty comparable. On the left-hand side is what you would pay at Verizon if you get the TV and landline service. Because you're in a bulk deal, you will get discounted rates as you buy a la carte and move up that chain. So HOA fee is $30. So that's what you're committed to. And I know that's a lot for some people that maybe you were just on the $1.86. So I was trying to think about how does that impact you as an individual if you were just paying $1.86. There was a study done in Colorado at the University of Colorado in Boulder around what does it mean to have a fiber network that's dedicated to the home? Because I don't know about you, but when I'm looking for a home, or when my family members are looking for a home, or when anybody's out purchasing a home today, in Zillow, they're looking for fiber. They're looking for FiOS. And if they're not FiOS eligible, speaking to some of the mortgage firms, they don't even want to look at that home. And I was like, that's profound. You know, like, I don't understand that. Now, in a lot of instances, they don't have the opportunity to get FiOS. They also don't have the opportunity to do a cable subscription either. So they're looking for, you know, some sort of wireless configuration. The bottom line is, this study demonstrated that in a $200,000 home, the equity and value of that home was upwards into the 2 to 3% if you have a fiber network to the home. So for those of you that pay $1.86 and that's all that you had and you're thinking, how do I get value into this? Because you have a wired network, and trust me, it may not be immediate as far as holding up opportunities of real estate. I'm sure this place is doing just fine, but in 5 years, in 6 years, when people are consuming 1 gigabit, and that's the standard, which the 50 over 50 today is, they're going to be looking for that. And I promise you, there won't be a lot of people out there deploying fiber networks at that point. So this was a real small window and opportunity, and I think the board captured that. So this is $86.75 compared to $60. You'll see in there 111 channels included, 200 in HD and 280. So if you do some comparisons there, That's 60 and then 50 versus 280 and 111. Those are big differences. So there's some value added to that. Also, the landline phone is 1 penny savings on our side. So not a lot, but a lot of people aren't using that landline phone. I still use mine, and you use yours. So, okay. So now let's look at the next one. So this is TV and internet. So if you bought TV and internet and you had this with Hotwire, you were paying roughly $86.75, and the difference in our package price is $79.99. The difference is, what do you see in that last line, second to last line? Internet at 50 over 50 versus a shared network on 20 megabits. Okay, so that's a big difference. And I promise you, you will realize that in the holidays when you have guests that bring their iPads and cell phones. Then the last piece, and this is really around DirecTV. Mr. Lupo, actually, I think this was one of your examples. So I understand people had DirecTV, they were paying the $1.86 fee. So if you match this up, again, $30 versus the $1.86, you can see the configurations of the channel. So similar on the content side, we took an example. This is a high-end user. This is a consumer that appreciates their content, and they purchase kind of the whole package. $151.99 you would be paying on this Verizon Fios package versus $203 that you would be paying on this other scenario. Okay? So this is your ultimate user that's consuming, that's using the 50 over 50, but also wants Showtime, wants Stars, wants all these other categories as well. Okay? So one last thing, because of the location of where your community sits. We have content providers, so we work back with HBO and a lot of our networks, and we have certain jurisdictions within New Jersey that cannot get premium content on the sports side. So for instance, and we call it a demographic marketing area, because of where you sit, you actually fall and get the relief of the New York City demographic, because you're just north of that line, which means for those individuals that like the New York Yankees, and I believe the New York Mets, those are the channels that you will also participate in for free at no extra charge. Many other areas in southern New Jersey aren't allowed to get that, so they have to actually pay for that extra. So that's a great news story, and I'm certainly, with a couple of people wearing Yankees hats, I appreciate that you understand that. I'm from Boston, if you haven't noticed, so I know how important it is to have your team, so that is very impactful. So that is pretty much what I wanted to cover with you today. I don't normally come out at these meetings. I'm just letting you know. When a community of 2,700 people sign up, and they sign up for a long-term relationship with your team, I take that very seriously. I will be in the board meetings in the future anytime that you ask Sal and the team. I appreciate you inviting me to the last one. I appreciate the homework that everybody did in here to help me kind of put this into place. And I appreciate Joe and his work hand-holding a lot of these installations. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to thank you for the time today. What I'd like to do is open it up for some questions.
I think we should hand this out to the residents.
Yes. Okay, so we have some pricing sheets.
This is a new pricing sheet. So what we want you to do is have a copy of it, so you can have questions relating to these. Okay? Give us a couple of minutes to get it to you.
So we're going to hand those out right now to you. Now, remember the caveat I asked for, not until you're built. You can't order, right? So this will give you an opportunity to decide on what you want to do. And again, we have some people to answer those questions. Hi. What was that, hon?
There's an error on there, because on October 1st, our Hotwire fee was not going to be $1.87. It was going to be a lot higher.
Okay.
So you could have made that look even better.
What was your name?
Huh?
What was your name?
Karen. But
Okay.
you can ask, Joe will know how much it was going to be. It was like $14 or $15 instead of the $1.87.
Yeah, so team, I just got a comment from Karen, just so that everybody's clear, and I want to make sure that we're clear on this. she had mentioned after that October 15th date, the hot wire fee was going to go up substantially. So she said you could have made this look a lot better, but I wanted to do it before and after of what you were actually paying. So thank you, Karen.
You just said about the Yankee station, that's included with everything?
Yes.
I don't watch Stars, HBO, or all these channels. Is there like a sports package you can get?
Yes.
Because I was at the Verizon store, I got a price package.
Yeah, I know.
Let's
Okay,
see
well,
let's see what you're included.
does everybody have one?
You can see what you're included today, and then if it's outside of that, you can order. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any, Sal, any questions
Okay.
outside?
Please quiet down for a moment. Does everybody have one? Take a moment to look at it, because when we open up Q&A,
Thank you.
okay, if you have any questions, no, we have the entire Verizon staff here to answer your questions. If necessary, and it's on a personal note, we'll set up a sidebar for you. Okay? We'll follow the same format we did the last meeting. We'll limit it to one question per. Okay? I'm sorry?
We are,
So please get online. Any questions is open now, right now.
we'll stay here as long as you need questions answered. So if there's a line or you feel like there's a question you have, it's not answered, we'll be here, okay? All right. So I don't know if we want to,
Yeah, please state your name.
Frank Cannon, 78A Buckingham Drive. I got a question about these boxes. You need a box for each one of the rooms? I got 3 different TVs. I need a box for each one of these rooms. I got one box. And
Yeah,
I can
so-
get the other 2 channels, but I can't receive the cable guide. Is that correct?
correct. Did you already sign up?
No, I have not.
Okay, okay. Hey, Frank, let's get some members of the team up here and answer the specific questions for the group that have the usability testing. And is there a microphone that we can use up here, guys? Okay.
Any one of those are live.
Just push that.
The second thing, Frank, let's have the team scribe these questions just so that we have each one and we can provide answers to the whole community that's not here. So can you answer that? All right.
So this is loud. When you call to order your service, you have one box with the contracted. You're gonna order 2 additional set-top boxes for the other rooms. That's an option that you have.
Yeah, but I don't need the 2 other boxes. Am I correct?
2 or 1 or
I can use one box, and I can still receive the TV on the other 2 channels, but I just cannot get the receiving channel, but I can get all the channels. I can't get the guide?
The other TVs.
The 2 TVs. I have 3 TVs.
right,
One will say we have with the box.
correct.
The other 2, I don't have the box. Now, the one that has the box, I have the cable guide. Now, in the other 2 rooms, there is no cable guide.
Excuse me.
The IMG.
He's
But I
talking
still
about,
get all the
IMG at all.
same stations.
pardon me, he's talking about something on an individual basis on hot wire right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Or is he talking about Verizon,
the-
potentially?
He's trying to find out,
He has 1 additional boxes.
excuse me,
If I can clarify the question,
No.
no?
No,
He
Jim,
needs to
let
order
somebody
additional
else answer the
boxes
question.
for the other TVs.
And what's the cost?
$12 per box?
Okay.
He doesn't know what,
So answer the question.
Yes. I think he.
Good question. We have an answer for you.
Right. So in this case, to have service in the other on the other
I don't
TVs,
have service right now.
when you order your service, when your address is ready to is Fios ready, you will call and order service. You get your one box, and you can is your option to order additional boxes at
I could
at
order
$12
2 more
each.
boxes. But what I'm saying is, I don't need the other 2
Can he get the
boxes.
IMG on the other 2 TV sets?
I can get the other 2 TVs without a box and receive all of the channels.
No, you can't.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
If you've
You
got
need
three,
boxes.
if you've got three televisions, are you listening? I'm over here. Hello? I'm right here.
Okay.
Up here. Hi.
I'm sorry.
How are you? Your question is, you've got three televisions.
Three televisions.
One television, you're going to get the set-top box with your $30.
Right.
The other two TVs, in order to get the channels, you're going to need two more set-top boxes. Or you can get the digital converter, but that's an optional from a set-top box, right? There's a
If I can
set-top
interject,
box.
I'm sorry,
Go-
just so we
go
can
for it.
see it. This is the digital, can you hear me? Okay. Okay now? So this is the digital converter they're talking about, the small DCT box that you can have in one of the additional rooms, or you can have this size box. So you will need a box for each TV. All three of your TVs will need a box. So you have different choices. This big one here is free, or comes with the,
Which is the
$30.
HD DVR set-top box.
right. So $12. And this one is a smaller one for $7.99 that you cannot get the premium channels on, and you can't get HD on.
Does that also come with the television,
Yeah.
The IMG,
the
The
telephone?
guide is
The
not
guide.
on the $7.99
The
box.
guide is not on this box. The guide is on this box. So you can have two additional boxes like this for $12 each. Or if you want the smaller box without the guide, it's $7.99. So, but you will need a box for each TV.
People, they'll explain that to you. Any one
The
of those
smaller
people
box
will
would only
be able
have
to
standard
explain that.
definition
Yep.
channels.
Okay, thank you. I can't hear if everybody's going to be talking.
Al D'Amato, Chris,
Going out.
you're dialing down the internet speed at 50/50. With the new technology coming into place, smart thermostats, refrigerators, things of this nature, are we locked in with that 50/50 for this 7-year contract, or is Verizon going to, readdress it as technology is advancing?
Yeah, no, great question, Al. So today, that was an example of what I think most people would require in this room. However, to your point, you can always purchase up. We offer tiers up to 100 gigabits, a gigabit of speed, which is 950 megabits. You're not under contract obligation to order the 50 over 50.
Right, but, outside this bulk agreement, the norm is 70, isn't it?
Yeah, no, outside of this bulk agreement, the mass market play right now in the retail space is about a 150 megabit over 150. So a lot of people are ordering that as a standard
No,
today.
what Verizon's offering outside a bulk agreement, your minimum standard, isn't it 75?
Minimum standard is 50 over 50 right now with this group. Yeah,
50
you
over
can
50.
you can order the 50 over
With
50.
this group is 50/50. What
Yes.
I'm saying is, if we were outside of here, I'm up in Bergen County and I want something, and I place an order, we're
Yep.
gonna do 75.
It's 150 over 150.
150.
Yes.
So you're dialing it down to 1/3 of what John Q. Public would get.
We're not dialing it down. You could buy these a la carte at 150
Yeah.
for cheaper than what Joe Public can get. Because you're in this agreement.
We're in the bulk agreement, so
Yep.
as the bulk agreement, we're getting a 50/50 as opposed to a 150 if we were not in a bulk agreement.
Well, no, you're not. You're paying for it a la carte, so you could order 150 over 150.
You're missing the point. The point is...
I don't know what you're comparing. Are you
Okay.
comparing price points
Yes.
of outside to here?
Yes.
Okay, that's your question then. You're
Well,
comparing.
basically, what you're doing is you're dialing down the internet speed so that we're getting the 50/50 as opposed to, let's say, Lakehurst is, they're not in a bulk agreement and they're going to get a 150 and over a 150.
No,
Different
we're not-
different pricing than we're getting because of the bulk. My point is what the basic internet speeds are not in a bulk agreement.
Correct. 150 over 150, you can purchase that. They're at different price points. So you could order a triple play outside here in the retail space. You could order a
Right.
TV, less TV than you have that was contracted. You could order 150 over 150 megabit speed.
What is the standard offer outside of here?
79.99.
No, speed, not pricing, speed, internet speed.
150.
I'm sorry.
So it's 150 over 150.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
So
can also-
I want you to understand, though, we didn't dial it down. What we're creating is an entry point for a price that people can afford, so that people that don't consume 150 over 150 don't have to purchase it. I'm not understanding your question. 'cause
Okay, my
you
question-
we could certainly eliminate the 50 over 50 and then have a category that's higher priced. But I don't think that would be beneficial to the residents of here.
I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Don't talk to him.
Yeah, I don't. How you doing, sir?
Hi. My name's Tom Farrell, Chris. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
There's a statement. You got a mistake on this price sheet. We are entitled to a free modem as part of the contract. I mean, a free router. It's not shown on here. We get a free router. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It should say that up here. It doesn't.
Okay, does it say that you're paying for a router?
It says under contract services, top center,
Yeah.
FiOS package, 1 HD set-top box, standard setup. Does not say includes a router. It should.
Okay, we could add that. That's a good point. Yeah, we could add that.
Thank you.
It's not a service, it's a device, but we could add it.
I'm just saying it should
Okay.
be. Now I have the
Understood.
question. This is a management type question. It's been very great that you've had people out there answering questions for us for 2 weeks now. They're there from 9 to 3. A lot of the trustees have had questions. I think it would be a great advantage if you put together a frequently asked question list of all these questions, because we keep hearing rumors. And
We
things.
actually got in front of that with the last board meeting, so we had some questions that were posed by Sal on the board. We answered those initially. The reason we wanted to hold this meeting was to get in front of some of those questions that were asked. But we do have someone scribing these questions, and I think, to your point, we should get these out to the community, because people that didn't attend here tonight can have an opportunity to
Thank
see
you,
it.
Chris.
Thanks, appreciate it. How you doing,
Arthur
sir?
Weiner.
Hi, Arthur.
Thornberry Lane. To answer the first question, because I was the first one having FiOS installed, on the TVs that don't have any box at all, if you have a QAM tuner that's compatible, you can get very difficult. You can get 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, those kind of things, and nothing beyond. Okay? And unlike Hotwire, where you could get the channels just screwing in a coax, if you don't have the right TV, you won't get it. So it's a more complex question. My actual question up here is, number one, you mentioned before that we can buy the bundles. We were told we cannot get the retail bundles.
You can't, no, I didn't say you could get the
Yeah,
retail.
you said bundles.
You could get bundles, meaning on this piece, you can't get the retail bundle, because you're in a
Okay,
bulk
well,
agreement.
just interpretation.
Yeah.
And when I signed up, I was told I can get 50/50 or gigabit. I fought and got 100/100. Now I can get at 150, 200. I can get any speed.
That's not true, no.
Well, you said I can get 150.
You could purchase up, we're gonna be announcing a 300 tier speed in the marketplace in the next 3 days. So this is private information. When you call in, we will offer you what you need, and we'll retrofit
But,
you
you know,
for
the
what you need.
100 wasn't available. I managed to get it.
Yep.
But now you're saying 150 is available. You just said before.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you want me to limit your restrictions, I could do that, but
No,
I'm
no.
not gonna do that. So, yeah,
Yes,
so let me explain our speeds to you, everybody here. Speed tiers move up, and we're constantly evolving those speed tiers to meet the demand. So, based on the configuration of bulk and what we offer today, what are the 3 speeds that we offer, Marty?
50, 100, and a gig.
Correct, so that's what's available to you today.
Okay. But my point is, the 100 wasn't included in the original.
Correct, which
Offering.
means we evolve our speeds,
Well, I
right?
found that out. And then a question for the community. For whatever reason, you didn't hook up our community TV in the beginning. So I have Fios. I no longer have community TV. They're attempting to stream it
To build it.
over Hotwire, which is not good. So I was watching the earlier meeting, and there was constant video freeze. There was audio dropout. Can I ask that you direct your people to go outside your engineering planning and hook the broadcast area up of this building as soon as possible, so we can get... Why are you banging me out?
Yeah, no, we could certainly work with that. So the community channel is something that, to your point, is being built today. We're trying to build it as soon as possible. We've had that request from the board.
Okay.
But your request is something dedicated for like a center here?
Well, no, we can broadcast. You bring it in, they can hook it up, because they put digital out of our console.
Yeah, no, I apologize. This
Thank you.
community with six community channels is really high-end. It's
I just
part
want
of...
one.
No, I know you want one,
Yeah.
but to serve the
Okay.
community, we're doing our best. We will
Okay,
have that
he's-
info.
He's banging the gavel.
I'm banging
Okay.
the gavel.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
All right, Art Pedowitz, Thornberry Lane.
Yep.
After 22 days, I finally got mine installed today, so I can't tell you how great it's going to be. But I will say this, from the first meeting and all along, even till today, I don't have any problems with the installation department. Walter, your supervisor's been fantastic. I wouldn't give 2 cents for your sales department and being so unprepared to answer questions. And this has to be
Yeah.
addressed because people are calling in.
No, that's fair. Hey, so here's the thing. In any installation, what was your name?
Art Pedowitz.
Listen,
What was
this
it,
has
Art?
nothing to do with it.
Okay. So here's the deal. I like those kind of questions because it's feedback from my team. Yeah, and I appreciate that. It shows what we can do in the forefront for future bulk deployments, but also for our properties that we're going to be launching 8 through 1. Okay, so I apologize for any slip-ups on that. Let me know
Well,
how.
it's for everybody else, so they should be prepared to answer questions. But my other question was, and Arthur did mention dedicated channels
Yeah.
for the village, because people don't now, unless they change, don't know what's happening. The battery backup, what's the situation with that? We've been told that if you've had Verizon phone and internet, or phone especially, that the battery backup would be installed and it would be free. Here it's showing $39.99.
Yeah, there is a charge for that. After 6 months, so if you had the other service, after 6 months, you are saving money after this. So we did the break-even point on that. So in month 7, Art, you would actually be paying for an inferior network more money than you would be paying for the upfront charge of a battery backup that you can buy in a D-cell. So that kind of answers
So
the
basically,
question.
you're not providing the battery backup.
No.
It's another change that you've made.
I don't believe we've made a change to that.
It is. I was told that the battery backup, if you have an existing landline, is free.
Verizon, as long as it was Verizon.
As long
If
as
you
have
keep the
Verizon.
existing landline, but not if you move to the new fiber infrastructure, correct?
No, that wasn't it. If you switched over to Fios, the battery backup would be provided for free, and if you had something else, then you would pay a fee.
Provided you have a Verizon landline.
I have a Verizon landline.
Okay, it should be free.
So where is it?
That would be free for his instance.
It would have to remain the same phone line, not migrate to FTV.
Yeah, so do you have the same phone line service?
Yes.
Okay, let's take his name and make sure that he's not charged.
No, that's for everybody.
That's a common question I'm getting, so hopefully we can answer that for everyone.
That's
Yep,
for that's for
that will be in the
everybody.
frequently answered questions document that we create for everybody, okay?
As far as I know, the battery backup is free as per Verizon at the last meeting for any resident who has an existing Verizon landline. That's it.
Yeah, you'll have that, understand, I didn't get that question prior to the, okay, thank you.
Now, if you don't have a landline, then there's a $39.99 fee.
Correct.
Thank you. Okay, Marie Lamberti, Farrington Court. Included in the TV package, preferred HD, those are the 280 channels.
Yes.
So in this booklet, the preferred HD is what we will be getting in our bulk package,
Correct.
correct?
Are
With
these
the addition of,
I'm asking the gentleman, I don't mean to be rude, I can't hear
Yeah,
two of
correct.
you at one time.
Correct. Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, I see here the S channel is not included.
Yep, we can answer those questions outside of here. The yes channel's included, correct?
It's in the
So are
local.
these not?
Local.
It's under the local,
Yeah,
regional
it might be in
and
the other
local.
section.
Well,
then.
then you have to let us know where we're looking. That was my main question.
it's under Northwest New Jersey in the little black book under local and sports channels.
But
You
it
will see
doesn't
the-
say
You will
so
see the
here,
yes
sir.
channel.
It doesn't say so here.
Yeah, so
No.
these,
Tells us here
let
something
me,
different.
yeah, so let me explain. These
Yes, I'll
questions.
be happy to listen to you.
Yeah, so let me explain on, so these are questions that you're gonna have as a normal consumer, right? So what I wanna make sure that we do is, if you have these specific questions, we can answer them after this
But
meeting
it's a
with my
general
team.
question. It shouldn't have to be to go out there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's an
So,
open
yes-
forum.
Yeah, something as big as the Yes Network, we should probably advertise that and
Correct.
certainly in the questions and answers.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. These are good questions, by the way. No, these are good questions. So
My
if
name
I
is-
didn't get my Red Sox Nesson channel, I'd be upset. So
Gavel, gavel, gavel.
Robert Porter, 1023B
Gavel,
Buckingham.
gavel,
I have a
gavel.
question about your vacational seasoning. You have a $50 charge. Is that in, out, or both ways, or is that every time you turn it off?
it's a one-time charge, right, Mark?
One time,
One-time charge, $50.
One-time
until
charge
9
for,
months.
No charge to reactivate?
no,
No charge to
when you
reactivate.
say, is that per year, calendar year?
For
If I go
9
back and
months.
forth, it's
9
for
months.
9 months?
9 months.
Is that true? Because we heard it's no charge to deactivate, no charge for while you're away, but to reactivate, there was a charge.
it's $50 charge, one-time charge. This vacation suspend your services up to 30 days, up to 9 months
Right, but when does the $50 get applied? In the beginning or the end?
in the beginning.
All right, that's different than what we were told.
So there isn't any charge for any of the services once we call to have this canceled for 9 months?
The TV services, you will still pay the $30 monthly to your
Yes,
board.
okay.
But the internet and the phone,
All the
we will
stuff you order
suspend.
outside of
Is
à
there
la
a
carte, you wouldn't pay for.
Is there a dedicated phone number that we call for the suspension?
Yes. The bulk services number. Yeah,
All right. Okay, thank you very much.
you're welcome. Can we see, they can still consume their video? I want to make sure that that question's answered in the, where they're paying for their bulk service of TV. So if they're down in Florida, that they can still consume their video. Okay, let's get that answer. All right. Hi.
Hi, Julie, Canterbury Drive. I got the thing on my door. And am I supposed to be calling this number to
Yes.
place the order? There's a number that was there, and the gentleman said, oh, you should call and order it right away. Now, but somebody's saying if you get this thing on the door, don't order it right away because you got to find out about additional,
So you got this, when did you receive this?
a couple days ago.
Okay. What's this number?
Where do you live, my dear?
Canterbury.
Canterbury.
I'm on the 37 end, yeah.
Okay. We'll find out what this number is. This isn't the dedicated center. The dedicated center, what is the phone number to that? Okay. If there's not a dedicated 800 number on there,
Yeah, the dedicated number is 1-800-501-1172.
when you get the collateral to call that number, that's when it's time for you to order. I'll find out what this one is.
So
The
that's
600.
not the tag I'm waiting for.
That is not the tag you're waiting for. I'll find out what that number is for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
800-501.
The number is 1-800-501-1172. But remember that, not everyone can call now. That number is going to be, you're going to be notified with those door hangers.
You will be
Don't
notified
call.
of when your phase is being installed and created, and that's when you call into that number.
Yeah.
Okay.
what does this tag look like? So I know, that's what I was wondering, because a gentleman said, oh, just call and order it. Now you have,
Yeah, I
Fios.
don't know where that tag came from. Like I said, I'll find out
on my
where.
doorknob, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
She's saying it's a tag, that's what I just want to make
okay.
sure.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
I
Is
will
there
find out where
anything
that
else?
tag is from.
Is that it?
No, we're not
Another
good.
quick question.
No, I
The
have the
small-
back, please. One
I happen to
one
have-
question at a time.
You have
Okay.
a second one, huh?
The taxes and stuff like that on it. I lived up north, I'm down here, I'm new.
Okay.
Every month, I had Verizon Fios, very happy with this. I had a different bill every month, and there was always additional taxes, connectivity fees. Are we gonna have like the same price every month, or is our bill gonna be different?
Your bulk standard price at $30 will be consistent. Anything outside of that is subject to price ups, price decreases, speed upgrades. Yeah, I can't promise it won't be the same in 4 years from now.
The reason I'm asking that, because I had Cablevision previous to that.
Yeah.
I got the same price every month.
Right, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of complaints
I
about
just
their
was
pricing.
curious
but-
about how,
Thank you.
See that gentleman over there?
right there. Okay, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yep. Hi.
My name is Donna Archer, and I live on Dunstable Court.
Hi, Donna.
I have a question. I don't know what I have for my internet now. I'm with Hotwire.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm 50/50 or 100 or 100.
One,
What?
1 to 2.
You're about 2 to 3.
I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
so you're probably at about, yeah, I'm not sure
Most
what the
people
speed
are,
is.
if they're lucky, 5 megabits,
Yeah.
if they're lucky.
So back to the case of the scenario.
So
if you
which
use
one would I be better off getting?
50 over 50.
Okay.
yeah.
And one other question, is the $30 maintenance fee forever? The additional?
The $30 for your video service, yes, that's
to the end of the
that's
contract.
moving
That's
forward.
forever, okay.
Subject to increase, subject to a 5% increase per year.
So before you know it, we're going to be paying $400 a month.
No, you won't.
No,
The max
no.
at the end of 7 years will be probably no higher
The
than
maximum is
37.
$1.50 on the 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one other question, I use my cell phone for everything, so I do not have to order telephone service?
Correct.
Okay, very
Thank
good.
you.
You answered all my questions.
All right, thank you. Nice meeting you. How you doing, sir?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just got here about 15 minutes ago. My question is, 5 years ago, I had Fios
Okay.
down the road. The arrangements they made were they had 7 people sitting at the table. The customers come up, sat down, placed their order, signed their bill, and everything ran smoothly. I understand, I don't know if it's been
Yeah.
discussed or not, but I spoke to 5 of your people already, and I explained to them the situation. We have senior citizens living in here. I'm not talking about 60, 70, I'm talking late 80s, early 90s.
Understood.
There's going to be a problem with that consumer speaking to your representative on the phone. There's going to be a problem that they ordered this, but they were told that. I feel you should have a panel of 5, 6, 8, 200 representatives, all on the same page.
Yeah.
Each
I w-
person will be able to place their order. You have a 2-page order blank. The customer signs it because they read it and they agreed with the representative. Everybody's happy. You're going to have a smoother operation overall. 2,600 homes, you're going to have at least 1,200 problems because of misunderstanding what was placed on the order.
I think your number's off a bit.
Yeah, I promise you we won't have 1,200
however-
problems.
Now, you folks did it before. There's no reason why you can't do it again. Bring in
Yeah,
5 representatives.
I'm not sure, was it a community of a bulk service that you had before?
I'm sorry, you have to come closer and speak. My hearing aids are not functioning today.
Was it a bulk community you lived in?
I just got them fixed.
Was it a bulk community that you lived in before? I don't know what your scenario was before.
All right, well, 5 years ago, this was
Yep.
just 2 miles down the road. And they came into the mobile home park, there's 500
Okay.
homes.
Okay.
Within a week and a half, everybody was happy.
Fine,
Why?
listen,
Because it was explained to them and every representative was on the same page,
Understood. Yep.
okay? So that you're not telling me one thing and he's not telling me another thing. You're both telling me the same thing.
Right.
No problems. By having people talk on the telephone, especially somebody that hasn't experienced this before, you're going to have major headaches.
Okay,
You're
so-
going to have people wanting to cancel orders due to that fact. And I heard some applause because people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to understand, consumer, your service has to go to the consumer, and the consumer has to understand what you're selling them.
Understood. So, a couple of things, and this is where we've worked with active adult communities, because even if it's 55 and over, like you said, the average age could be 72. You know what I mean? So you'll have people on the high end of that spectrum, right? So a lot of communities that we've worked with in the past, we have, to answer your question, we're not going to have a dedicated force out, unfortunately, to do the actual selling. But we have worked with communities in the past that can kind of buddy up with individuals that have ordered so that they could speak on behalf of some of the older individuals that cannot do that. So I don't know if you have that program at Leisure Village where you help each other. I don't know if we could start that here, but
If we can
that's
set up
sometimes a
something.
solution. Do you know what I mean?
2 weeks ago,
Excuse me, Chris.
Yeah.
You currently have representatives of Verizon sitting here 5 days a week between 9 and 3
On the installation side, yes.
on the installation.
Yep.
So if they come in, now if they need transportation and they can't make it here, maybe we could provide that. But I agree with you, they should be talking to seniors a little bit, seniors, a little more on a one-to-one basis as opposed to a phone.
So just to make it clear, the board brought this up when I met with them the other day, 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So let me do this. Let me take this back.
but
Let
my
me
concern
sit down with
was-
my team. Now, they're going to have to go through the call center, but let me see if there's something that we could provide as each phase lights up, maybe a day or two during the week, that I have some of my individuals out here that could warm transfer them into the call center and help them make that decision.
The
Okay?
reason I'm saying this, somebody has hearing problems.
Yeah.
Cannot go on the phone. There is a point of stupidity where the person on the other end of the phone is saying, well, I can't talk to you because I have to speak to that
No, I
person."
understand the concern. It's valid.
Okay?
Yep.
So there's problem number one. Do you want Verizon Fios business in here? Yes, then cater to the customers. People cannot hear, people cannot understand. People
Yeah.
get confused.
Great point.
What?
Great point. They have
Excuse
it.
me.
He's going to bring it back
I think
home.
you're belaboring a point.
We'll see what
We-
happens.
We totally agree.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you, so
Next.
just keep in mind, I don't know what Hotwire did for you. Okay.
Okay.
So my point to you is, I think that's a valid concern. We'll take it back. I have a couple of resources that could potentially help. It won't be every day. Like Carol Shields and the installation team is out here every day. They're doing the install, so that's a big pain point to make sure everything gets configured right. On the sales side, I agree with you. You probably will need some individuals, and maybe, Joe, we can work with, maybe there's some that even can't come here, and that we could go to their house and help
Okay.
them, okay?
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Al. Yep. Hi.
Hi, Tom Farrell again. If you'd like some water, I'll get you some.
There's what?
You want some water?
I see coffee.
Private jet.
You're not going to give me
You're
coffee.
from Boston. Water.
Water.
Okay, enough for the humor. One statement. On the internet, people have been indicating that they've been getting tags with the wrong number on them. In fact, one had a 609 number, and they posted it. I called it. It was Verizon. And it wasn't until I kept quizzing him did he tell me there was a subscription fulfillment center, and then gave me the correct number.
Yeah.
So just so you know, the wrong kind of tags with different numbers are getting out there.
So we have, there may be, there was a mistake. That was the one the woman brought up today, was that
Yes.
same 609 number.
Yeah.
We'll get that fixed, and I apologize for that. That's unacceptable to understand that. Yep.
One of my technicians that was from another area was not familiar with the procedure here.
Thanks, buddy.
So he came up one day to do the door hangers, and he did them incorrectly. He thought he was doing the right thing. It's since been rectified, he's been spoken to, and it's not going to happen again.
That's great.
Thank you, Carol.
You're very welcome.
Hey, and
Thank you.
just a point of clarification, this is, again, the head construction, engineering individual, Carol, and I want a round of applause for those of you that have met her. Here's the reason, and I understand what she just said.
No fraternizing.
Yeah, I understand what she just mentioned. Her team is trying to go over and above. So in that effort, there was a mistake made, and we'll make sure that that gets fixed. I can't promise there won't be future issues or mistakes that are made. As you build a community of 2,700 units that want this service, 2692, that want this service immediately, I ask that you just be patient on that. My main concern is I don't want to hear anybody's houses have an issue inside, or your billing isn't providing you what you actually are paying for and getting on your service, that you're not happy with the service itself. So those are the issues I'm going to ask for later on, too. Yep.
So my actual question then, Chris, it doesn't apply to me, but we have several hundred retired Verizon employees in here.
Okay.
And some of them actually still work. They received discounts on Verizon products, and the question is, will they receive any discounts under this agreement?
Yeah, concession services on the copper side would not be honored on this. Yeah, they won't be negatively impacted, I don't believe, from a cost standpoint, but we'll get you that answer of what the impact is. Yeah, I apologize for that. That's unfortunate, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye. How you doing?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sunny Oliver.
Nice to meet you.
I'm somewhere in Buckingham for about 20 years now. And I'm one of the first ones to get the door hanger and have the technician. And I have several problems. First of all, I get different answers from different people.
Okay.
For instance, I said, if I go away for several months in the summer, can I cancel some of my services or put them on vacation hold?
Yep.
And how much would that cost me? One person told me $50, and another one said it's free. I was talking to, of course, from Verizon. I wasn't talking to the neighbors. I wouldn't expect them to give me the straight answer.
Yeah.
But today, something which I consider pretty bad happened. I have a Verizon phone. I've always had it for more than 20 years. So when Verizon came in this time, I said, I'll keep my Verizon phone. But of course, it's a completely different thing than the old Verizon phone. I was talking to somebody, and my phone suddenly went dead. I mean dead. Dead as a doornail. There wasn't any dial tone or anything. So I went around the house making sure nothing was off the hook. I couldn't find any problem there. Luckily, I suggest everybody be sure you have a cell phone at your disposal. You never know what can happen. Anyway, I used my cell phone, and I called, and I got to... People are very polite and very nice, but that doesn't mean they're going to fix anything. This happened before 10 o'clock. I didn't get it put back until about 12:30. And you know what they were telling me? That they couldn't get through to the repair department. I'm talking to a Verizon employee, and that employee could not get through to their own repair department. I said, what would you do in an emergency here?
Okay. Yeah. A 2.5-hour window on a repair is outstanding. Just to let you know, I mean, it usually takes 24 hours. I don't know what happened.
Well, it took them they said they couldn't do anything until they figured out what happened.
Right. They got.
What happened was somebody shut my phone down, and they don't know why. It wasn't me.
Okay.
And I thought they're pretty fussy about who they listen to about something like that.
Excuse
me. Sonny, we'll take down your address because I want to root cause and understand what happened to it.
All right. No, I'll talk to him.
Excuse me, we have a representative over there to talk to you one-on-one.
Yes,
with
I
this personal
understand
issue.
that. But this isn't my problem. This could happen to anybody.
It can happen, but it happened to you.
But
Okay.
they finally.
I realize they resolved it.
They finally fixed the phone
Joe,
for
have you
me.
heard? I'm not sure if
But-
Joe left.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
They couldn't communicate with each other. What's the problem here?
Yeah, I mean, so we're setting up an initial phase here of 2,600 homes.
Somebody will help you
We're
right away.
we're network designing this as we install, so there will be some items that potentially come up. I haven't heard of any other issues.
Well, it's the same thing what this other gentleman said. We have an elder population here.
Yeah.
And many of them live alone. And it's very disturbing to them and their families to find out they have no communication all of a sudden for no warning and no particular reason.
Yeah, understood.
And it doesn't get fixed very fast. I
Thank
don't
you.
expect magic, but
Okay.
I know who you are. I heard who you are. I hear.
Thank you. Dear,
Frank,
somebody
let's-
wants to help
Let's
you.
take Sunny's example and root
Next.
cause what happened to her, okay?
right,
So
well,
we can
If
prevent
you
this.
have any particular advice how people could get repairs done quickly when they have no phone?
Chris should
We
know.
have somebody here Monday through Friday,
Get
right?
away from the microphone.
We have
Yes.
technicians here till
The
3
background
o'clock,
noise
Monday
in
through
here
Friday.
is
Just for
taken
anyone.
from a teacher. It's very disturbing, both the speaker and the other listeners.
Okay,
There's a lot of noise going on here.
thank you. How you doing, sir?
Yes. My name is Lamani.
What was that?
Lamani.
Amat, nice to meet you.
Okay. I have a problem with Verizon in the past. The right hand don't know from the left hand.
Okay.
All right?
This is
The
my right
lady
hand,
is right.
and this is my left,
The lady is right.
I think.
Okay. Another thing here. Hello? My lawn look like a garbage dump. Verizon comes and make it worse. No, it's worse. Okay?
Listen, this is not a
When I ask, wait a minute.
this is
I'm
not a
talking
forum to
Okay,
criticize.
I'm talking here.
But you're
okay?
talking about
And
what?
what he told me when I told him, oh, I don't want no Verizon. Guess what he answered? If you don't like it's too bad, you stuck with it.
Who said that?
One of the workers was working, and I saw working. Well, you don't like it's too bad, you stuck with it.
Did
That's
you
what he
ask?
told me. I
Did
don't
you
know what
ask
it
who
is.
his name was?
No, I don't know what it is. I'm telling you this.
Okay.
Verizon making the construction they're doing now, they're breaking the whole thing. If they don't fix it, they make a hole, and they don't fix it. Let me
So
tell
how
you.
about this?
I don't care.
Yeah, if you wanna provide me the person that said that to you, I could address it for you.
You know, 'cause, don't make no sense. We have elderly people here, work over here. It seems like they don't care. They make a hole and leave the hole there. And then they put all kind of garbage in there. It's gonna grow grass. When gonna grow grass?
Okay, I'm not,
That's what I said.
Okay.
Verizon don't know from the left to the right.
okay. Thank you. Hey, so Frank,
Next,
let's get our team up here, because I want to make sure we take down all requests. Okay, I also want to know who explained that to him, so if we need to drive around with him. Okay. 'cause
Leslie?
Yep, okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Leslie Zunra.
Hi, Leslie.
And I have just a plain billing question. Once we've been migrated to Fios,
Yep.
as a DSL internet, as a DSL internet customer, do I return the modem that I have? Do I have to cancel that particular service? What's going to happen?
Meaning you want to switch to Fios internet.
Yes.
Yes, you'll get a new router. You don't have to return the modem, I don't believe. Yeah, there's no
I
value
don't have
to
to
that.
call the company and cancel anything.
No, they'll
That's-
convert it on that one call for you.
On that one call?
Yes.
As with regard to billing, nothing I have to...
They'll fix that. You
Absolutely
won't be
nothing.
charged with your DSL anymore. You'll have the new service.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Good question. Thank you.
Getting down there.
Arthur
Hi.
Weiner again.
Hey, Arthur.
Thornberry. Just so you be aware, because you're the boss and bad information doesn't flow up all the time, I know.
Yeah.
Several of my neighbors and friends have had a problem getting their phone ported from Verizon landlines to Fios. And they say, well, we can't do it for 2 weeks, or we lost it, and my roommate, they actually left the phone service off his order. and it took a whole day of one of your people sitting outside the whole day before they could correct it and give them a temporary phone number. So that's something that should be looked at.
I agree.
Okay.
Was it corrected?
Finally, after 9 hours, he got installed.
Okay.
But, so that's a cost to you and a problem. The other thing is that the J. Fletcher Creamer and Verizon, I don't think have done a great job of fixing things, so we never knew that you were there. That was the statement we heard from Verizon. After we do the install, you'll
Right.
never know we were there. Grass, broken sidewalks, all sorts of stuff.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Like, so if we have to do digging on the premises, we will make sure that it's put back to its original state. So, sorry.
Hi, Judy Lampy on Finchley Court.
I can't hear you.
Hey, Jody.
Oh,
Calm down.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay. Just a couple comments. I retired from Verizon.
Okay.
One of my benefits is concession service.
Okay.
So I have a problem not getting any concession service on my telephone. I don't know if I take that up with the benefit department, but you're saying there's no concession service, and that was one of my benefits.
Yeah, so if she kept her service on copper,
Okay, we've addressed that already.
okay, well,
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Sal, and I think I speak for most of the people in this room. You have been so disruptive. This gentleman is doing an excellent job.
Of course he
He's
is.
representing Verizon, and you keep interrupting with your gavel, and it's been
let's take down her name
it's
so
been
that we can check
upsetting
that.
to me, and I think most of the people in the room will agree. You have been very rude. Now, I apologize to you, sir.
No worries. I want the team to know, I get change is tough, all right? So this isn't, I know, I promise you at the end of this, you're going to go, thank God we got this versus what we had. I promise you.
I'm so happy. I'm like thrilled.
But I want you to know, a lot of these questions, Sal has been pounding us on these. So I really want you to know, I've worked with a lot of boards in the past year. This board
I'm
has
sure the board
done a good
has done
job.
an excellent job.
Behind the doors, so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that the board has done an excellent job. I am so thrilled that FiOS is coming here. This behavior, though, is not warranted.
Okay.
It's our meeting, and we appreciate the information you are bringing to us.
Understood.
So, thanks. Is someone going to check in again
Yeah,
to the
so
concession?
Martine's gonna take down your name and stuff, and we're gonna check into your concession, okay? All right. How you doing, sir?
Hi, Bill Hooks, Liverpool Circle.
What was
Just
it?
Bill Hooks.
Bill, yeah.
Just a quick question. On the $50 vacation hold, what does that include? It includes the Wi-Fi? And what if I have 2 extra boxes? Does that suspend that cost, or do I have to return the extra boxes that I'm paying $20 a month or $12 a month?
No, all services associated outside of the $30 would be on suspend.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, for the $50.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
I just have a quick question. The bulk contract that this HOA, Leisure Village West,
Yes.
signed with you is really for the one TV, right? The one TV HD, the
Set-top box.
Yeah, preferred channel. The other things that here we're dealing with you as individuals with.
Correct.
Correct? I mean,
Correct.
we have to be responsible for them, meet your criteria, et cetera.
Correct.
But I thought I heard you say that maybe it's just I just need a clarification on the pricing, because you said something about it's not retail. So this is pricing that you are saying Verizon gave to us as a special deal? Is that what
Correct.
you're saying?
Correct. So a la carte pricing. So let me clarify, because that's a good question. You'll see advertising $79.99.
Yes, but it has a termination payment clause that we're not getting.
Did you hear that? So that's a
Which
big
a lot of
point to
people-
this. It's $79.99 the first year, then it goes up like every other carrier.
Exactly.
So if you do the mean over the 2 years, and here's the thing. So if you ordered a la carte services, you get a bulk discount because you're in the bulk piece for the video.
Right.
You pay less on the a la carte basis.
On the a la carte.
Yes.
But the other thing is, and I'll just throw this in there, and then I'm leaving, I promise.
Yeah.
It is a big deal about the termination clause being paid for a lot of people because they were forced to get other providers that have termination clauses, just like Verizon does, and now they're kind of stuck, you know?
So let me, okay, so you're thinking, so let me understand this. This is like a DirecTV scenario where if you got rid of that.
Or what's the other one? Dish Network?
yeah.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, so the board brought this up as a concern too.
I know they did.
We unfortunately, we don't pay for the early termination fee to give to DirecTV or Dish. But I can tell you, because we have early termination fees, if you call that provider, a lot of times you think you're in a term and you will pay penalties. The penalty you think you're going to pay isn't always that amount. So give them a call, explain to them your situation. I know our corporation takes that into consideration. For instance, if you're moving to another area, you don't pay that early termination fee. My advice is to call that carrier that's going to charge you that.
Okay.
Understand that you're getting charged, number one, and then number two, if they could do something for you, because you're in a...
It doesn't apply to me, but I know other people, other residents, it does apply to. So-
yeah. Mr. Lupo had that issue too.
Yeah.
So thank you, nice meeting you.
Hello, my name is Bill Delafay from Wooten Court.
How you doing, Bill?
Okay, is that better? Okay, I'm scheduled for Monday to have my service installed, and I ordered a landline, and they told me since I had a cell phone, I did not have to get the battery box for $40, but I understand other people said that you do have to pay and get the battery backup box. I said I didn't need it because I have a cell phone. They said fine, when you don't have to get the box and you don't have to pay for it.
So can we, where's Martine? If we opt out of the battery backup, can you opt out of the battery backup and still, okay, you can opt out of purchasing that.
Okay, that's
Okay.
correct.
You just
Okay.
won't have backup.
Right,
Right.
because I have a cell phone. If I have a problem, I'll just use the cell phone until we get it corrected.
Correct.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, you're welcome. How you doing, sir?
Hi, I'm Charlie Brandom. I live in Coventry Court. We're coming into a season when a lot of us leave this place.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you're on schedule in your installation, but a lot of us, some of us are leaving in September. Okay, now, what happens if we leave in September and you haven't gotten to us yet?
That's an outstanding question. So we do need to schedule your appointments. Let's see, I don't know if there's something that we could get in front of this. Maybe Joe, something we could get some people.
Yeah,
you know,
this is going to happen. A few of them leave early.
Yeah.
So this is going to happen. We're going to have to figure out what happens to them.
Yeah, so if you're phase 3, for instance, and you're gone, we would have to wait till you
I don't
get
know whether
back.
I'm phase 1 or phase 16.
Yeah.
Okay? And
Yeah, so it would be later on.
He's midpoint.
yeah, but
Midpoint.
Joe, it doesn't make any difference to me. It's just a question of what schedule they're on. I don't know whether these guys are starting on week 1 and they're 5 weeks behind and they'll never make it by October, or they're running so far in advance because they got a great team that they'll
Yeah,
get it done in no
our
time.
goal is to meet that timeline. Why don't we do this? We'll take down when your approximate time you're leaving and see if we can make sure that you're cared for.
And as a Met fan, I'm
Yeah.
not a Yankee fan, but in New Jersey, when we order extra services, they're a la carte.
All right.
Right there?
Yep, that's speaking now.
Check your rate.
A la carte.
A la carte.
Right, not carte. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Frank Cannon from 78A Buckingham Drive.
They couldn't hear you.
Frank Cannon from 78A Buckingham Drive.
Hey, Frank.
I got a few questions here. I'm looking at this home price servicing, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. What's the 5 items? If I get the top items, does that include the other 4?
Yeah, hey, Gary, let's get someone over to answer his specific questions. He's got a specific
If you want to step
question.
to the side, he'll discuss
Well, I got
it.
one more question.
Okay?
Yeah, we'll have someone answer that question
All
for you.
right.
One more.
Okay.
All right, does the serviceman get a break on this?
Is the what?
Servicemen get a break on this.
Military.
They don't, unfortunately, no.
No
I
break
apo-
for veterans.
No. How you doing?
Hi, Susan Garofalo, Chatham Lane. The last meeting, I thought if we
up to the ultimate for the $15. We got certain movie channels included in that.
Correct.
And I don't see it anywhere on this sheet, so that's why I'm asking. I'm a little confused.
Yep, we'll get you an answer to that question too.
No, that's not answering the question, Sal. It's saying what I want to order.
Thank you. He'll help you. hon.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome. You're welcome.
Marie Lamberti, Farrington Court.
Hi.
I have Verizon. Thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna let's do this because I think the questions are slowing down a little bit. If you have multiple, if you've been up here 3 times already, let's get an individual to answer their specific questions.
General question, right?
Yeah.
My telephone bill, Verizon is billed separately from my iPad. That's billed Verizon Wireless.
Yes.
Now, with the new telephone coming in, and I will still have the iPad, will I be getting separate bills as I am now?
You will get a Verizon wireless bill for your wireless service, and then you will get anything associated with
For the
FiOS as a
phone.
separate bill.
Okay.
One bill.
One bill. Now that you will, I will be changed to a different program with this phone at $29.99. Will I be served a service charge for switching me over to this plan?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Farrell, it's a general question. Can everybody hear? Okay. I've seen a copy of the addendum that was signed by Verizon, addendum to the agreement, and Mr. Tazi signed on behalf of the association. The addendum clearly states that any orders placed in August may not be completed until late October. Now earlier, and I guess this question is for you, Mr. Tazi, earlier it was stated that Hotwire was going to raise the prices significantly come October 1st. So I want to know what's the... Somebody said it. No. Maybe you said it, Mr.
No, it
Curtin.
wasn't me.
I didn't. No, that was one of the
Somebody
residents.
over there said they were raising the prices.
Yeah, that
We
was
do not- we do
Karen.
not have any
Karen had mentioned
information.
that.
Thank you, Faye.
Yeah.
Could whoever say that raise your hand? I don't think it was the audience. I thought it was somebody.
No.
It was Karen.
Okay, never mind then.
Hey,
Thank you.
nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
You were on the phone, right? Yeah.
Hi, Chris. My
Hi.
name's Carl Brignola, Buckingham Drive. First
Carl.
of all, I have to thank you and your team. I was installed last week. I love it. I think you're moving at a great pace. I do have a question, and I'm going to word it the best way I can, and I think a lot of people in here will have the same complaint I
Okay.
do. And the complaint is not you, your team, it's FiOS in general. We are Central Jersey. I know we're fortunate for Yes Network, we're considered North Jersey.
Yes.
But we are Central.
Yep.
I've watched FiOS 1 News. It's fantastic for Jersey. If I lived in Bergen County or Hudson County, I would love it. I live in Ocean County. It does nothing for me. All right? You go to channels for other news, everything is north. North, we're south. We need something geared towards here. Maybe the southern part of your plan, of your whatever, gives news more oriented towards us. And you really need to address that. And I'm sure that's not only my complaint right now, and it will be ours in here, but it's other people in the general area.
I'm going to bring you to my next staff meeting at corporate headquarters because I've been asking for this. This is something that a lot of times we're addressing the New York DMA just because of, and I'll give you some background on this. They had some dedicated channels that were in there, and we created, Verizon made the investment to create its own channel, which, again, you enjoy. I'm going to bring that back because I think it's something that we could create throughout the mid-Atlantic states and even in Potomac, because I'm getting that request in Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia, so in other demographics that I think that we would benefit from. So it's good feedback.
Yeah,
I like to hear that people like the channel, but...
And the thing is that a lot of people in here who were local to this area,
yeah,
they've enjoyed having Philly channels with the hot wire. We've had the best of both. We had New York, we had Philly.
Understood.
You can pick what you wanted.
Yeah.
All right? but there's nothing ever geared towards us.
Understood.
We're out in the cold. And
Right.
I'm really would like to come inside and be warm and not out in the cold.
Understood.
Thank you.
All right, nice to meet you. Thanks for your feedback.
Hi, my name's
How you
John
doing, sir?
Lavara.
Hey, John.
Live on Thornbury. We've been installed already, and my name's John Lavara. I live on Thornbury, and we've been installed already, and I believe everything is working. I received an email last week that kind of shocked me, and I wonder if someone could explain. It's a bill. It's the
Okay.
billing email. And the final summation after the pluses and minuses, estimated bill, $214.24. Now,
What were the products that you purchased? Just
base, everything is base, okay, and I just added it up from your pricing sheet. We have the $12 fee for the one set-top box, and then $7.99 for the digital adapter, which I have for another TV. And then the 50/50 Fios is $49.99. And then the digital voice for the phone is $29.99. Now, I added it up, that comes to $100 plus my maintenance fee, which is not part of this, which is I'm going to be charged. I should be charged somewhere around $130, but the basic was $100 from Fios. Now, if that is correct, and I got this bill, this email bill with all these particular charges, pluses and minuses, and it said the estimated monthly charges for the base amount of services, $104.97, plus they said what to expect on your October 3rd bill. These a couple of other additions to that, and then more additions on the second page. Estimated bill, $214.24.
So it may be prorated a portion of the month plus a full month.
Is that possibly what?
Yeah,
That's what I want to
we
see
have
if it's
some-
explained.
Yeah, the team's going to sit down with you and go
Okay.
over that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it kind of shocked me.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it could be a portion of that first month and then
Okay.
the next month.
That makes
so.
sense if it's true.
We'll
Okay,
walk through
thanks.
it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. Nancy Feedy, Edinburgh Lane.
Hey,
I
Nancy.
hope nobody gets mad at me, but I am not on top of this because I work and I just got here. But if I have two TVs, one box is $12 a month. My other TV, how many channels will I get without a box?
With the $12 fee, you'll get the same amount of channels. Yeah, so you'll get the same amount.
Without a box?
No, with a box. With the $12 extra box. You're going to get one box. That's
Right.
part of the contract. If you purchase the other box for $12,
What if
you'll-
I don't purchase the other box?
Yeah, you
get nothing?
Yeah, you don't.
Because
you
right
wouldn't-
now we get like 70-something channels.
Yeah, you wouldn't get.
Oh, okay, so you need to have a box for each TV.
Correct.
So you get one box and then you pay for one box.
Correct.
Okay, and then the phone, I have Verizon now for my phone and internet. If I choose not to have a phone, there's no fee. If I choose a phone, it's $30?
Correct.
Okay, and the internet, so I'll get a bill for the internet separate, right?
You'll get a bill for the internet and phone separate, and then the TV will be part of your bulk deal at $30.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And then you missed the scenarios, so we went through, and you fit
Yeah.
into one of these scenarios, so we'll have a member of our team sit down with you right now.
Okay,
to go
great,
over
thank
that.
you.
Want to go over? Okay.
Mindy Horowitz, I live on Sterling, and my question is, can you tell me if you know approximately how long an installation takes, because I still work?
4 to 6 hours.
So I need to ask for a day off.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the best. Yeah. I mean, we want to do it right, obviously.
I understand.
With-
How much lead time? I have to give them at least 2 weeks' notice for one day off.
We could work with you individually and get your schedule down. So let me take what your stipulations are, okay?
Okay.
And then we
Appreciate
can
it.
certainly work with you on that.
Okay, and the other thing is, will someone be coming around again to look at the lawns? Because they've left my lawn a mess.
Yeah, we will be reviewing that. Joe is pushing all escalations to us, so we
Okay.
will be making sure that those are done.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, this meeting is officially over. Thank you for participating.
Thank you for your time, guys. Yep.